Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and also The Brink, and today I want to talk about Half-Life, one of my favorite franchises. I want to talk about it. I really want to give it its credit because it is an amazing series, and also happy St. Patrick's Day if you're watching this on St. Patrick's Day. And let's get into it. But before we do that, make sure to like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar. Okay, so essentially what I want to talk about is just how amazing Half-Life is. And really, this is a little bit of a fluff video because I've been wanting to make this forever. I'm going to be covering Half-Life, I'm sure, multiple times, as I will be doing Steam Deck and other gaming hardware along with games and what's coming out. But Half-Life is one of those games, if you have not played it yet, I recommend playing any one version of it. Obviously, you should probably start at the beginning with Half-Life 1 or Black Mesa, the fan-made turned Valve-made kind of, right? Valve took them under their wing, which just further cements like how much I love Valve is how much they treat the modders and just the people in the community. They do such a good job, but while AAA studios are just, I feel like, screwing their fans over, Valve really does a lot to help us. Yeah, are they 100% altruistic? Not always, but they do a lot. So with that, Half-Life. I played Half-Life since I was little, essentially. Before my teens, I played Half-Life 1, 98, 99. I love that game so much. And then Half-Life 2 in 2004, along with the leak in 2000, I believe 3 or 2002, where, you know, some hacker essentially social hacked them, went to their office, stole the source code off the network, and then they got stung. Like, they had an operation where they got stung and got arrested. And just the story of the development of the Half-Life is amazing. Like, they have had some of the most amazing tech demos and just releases ever. And yes, there's always the 3. Can they count to 3? Obviously not so far, because Half-Life Alyx came out in about 2020, and that game is actually, I want to say it's one of my favorites, if not my favorite one. But it's so hard because Half-Life 2 is also one of my favorites. Half-Life, I played probably hundreds of hours of Half-Life 1 growing up, and so like all these games are so iconic and so much a part of my life and growing up that I really wanted to shout them out so much. If you have not played them yet, go play them. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Yeah, I can't praise it enough, right? You got this dystopian world in Half-Life 2. You got this secret facility, science facility in Half-Life 1 where you have an incident and essentially all shit breaks loose and you essentially cause the end of the world, or at least your group of scientists and the facility cause the end of the world, essentially, into a dystopian world, that is, where, you know, you find yourself in Half-Life 2. This game has it all. For me, sci-fi, it has the horror aspect, it's got the running, gunning, shooting, and I love first-person shooters, and with everything you can do to try to jump up to places, to use the gravity gun to manipulate the world in Half-Life 2. Like, there's just so much that you can explore and experience that it just, for me growing up, it felt like I was really experiencing another world, and I loved it. But then with Half-Life Alyx, I got that, put that VR headset on. I have the Steam Index, which is perfect for it. In fact, I think it's the best experience. And man, it became almost my favorite one of them all, because just being so involved in the world of Half-Life, and they did such a good job that it still feels like Half-Life. Yes, you're not Gordon, you're Alyx, but that's fine. You get to hear the banter between Russell and Alyx as you go through that world, and they really just did an amazing job. I'm really hoping that they do come out with Half-Life 3, but if they don't, they are working on Half-Life games continually. They've worked on Half-Life games on and off for decades now, since 98, you know. They came out with Half-Life 2, a bunch of episodes, episode 1 and 2, that is. They were supposed to come out with more, which they didn't. And then they had multiple prototypes of Half-Life 3 and just different versions of Alex Half-Life that turned into Alex. And I'm hoping that they continue trying to do it, even if we get more Half-Life Alex or games like that that's in the Half-Life universe. If they can keep them on standards like they've done in the past, awesome. I'm all for it. I know it sucks for some people with Half-Life Alex, like it's best experience in VR, and I believe there are modders that have made it so you can play it without the VR headset. It's just, it doesn't feel the same because it's very limited in its weapons and a bunch of other aspects. It just wouldn't be the same without a headset. But man, like anytime, any of my friends, anyone that I can get to wear the headset and play, I always do, because I think it's that amazing of a game. And with that, with all that praising, that's why I do the crowbar thing. Bash that bell with the crowbar, is because that's my signature in my world. It's my signature, I guess. I have merch that has crowbars on it. That is my thing. It's one of my favorite games. I mean, I have some other games that are favorites, and I'm going to do a favorite list someday. Like Dead Space is amazing, but Half-Life is my quintessential. It's my favorite. It's at the top. And I'd be really surprised if anything to throw in that, just because there's so much history tied into my just growing up with it, and how much it just really entertained me and made me enjoy the world around me. Yeah, I mean, it made me even think of like parts of Russia, kind of just made me think of Half-Life 2, and Half-Life 2 does have Russian wording in it and all that. So yeah, with that being said, really, I just wanted to praise the Half-Life games and praise Lord Gaben, and thank you guys for watching this. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite game is. Why is it iconic to your childhood? Is it just something that you just have always enjoyed, or is it just brand new and you just found it and it's your favorite game? What is it? I want to know. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. Later!